If you're starting out, should I go employed? Should I go self-employed? And it's for you to decide. You need to figure out if that's right for you. And if it isn't right for you and you want to work for someone in a team, then do that. Not everyone can be their own boss, and people need teams to build to create a great business too. Welcome back to our channel. My name's Megan, owner and founder of Luxemore Studio. We are the #1 wellness studio in the southwest of England. We're based here in the UK. Today we're going to be discussing building a team. Should you hire and employ a member of staff, or should you get self-employed? So for me, it is something that I wanted to know when I first started my business. So I opened this space here in March 22. I opened here in March 2022. So I opened with just myself. For the first month, it was just me. I knew from my old place where I was working, I was renting a room in a salon. So I knew that my clientele, I could cover the rent on my own here. So I knew everything could be covered just from what I was making. And also I was at a point where really I was only self-employed for maybe a year before opening this place. So I've always wanted this to happen, but it felt like it took forever to happen. But really, I was self-employed for about 1 year because I started just before the pandemic, and I literally started December 2019. In the March 2020, we went into the pandemic, so I only had a few months open, and really those first few months it was quite quiet for me because I hadn't had a client base before. So I was still building, and we're still building now, and especially because we have more members of the team, we're constantly building. I don't think you can ever stop. I don't think that you should ever close your books, but that is another story for another day. So should you hire or should you employ? So for me, when I started my journey, I had actually my best friend, she did a treatment on me for another job. We studied in college together. So 10 years ago, we studied together, and she had taken her time to get into the industry. And she went for this interview, she really wanted it, and she had to do a trades test. So a trades test, for people that don't know, is a short interview. Well, you have your interview, and then the trades test, you do a short treatment. So it's really common in this industry. For me, whenever I hire anyone, I do a 20-minute massage, and it is a back massage. The back, sometimes I think to change it to something else, because the back you will learn so much, but in any massage, the back massage for me and for most people is the best thing. So I will just do like a 10-minute aromatherapy, and then they do 10-minute deep tissue, and then that way I can see the range. So for her, she was going to do work in a hair removal place, but she had to know how to do a facial. So I did some facial training with her. She came over to my room that I had when I was self-employed, and we did some training. And her touch was so good. And I knew straight away, I knew she'd always be good because she's such a caring person. But for me, it's when someone has that real touch and it just comes effortlessly. So she did the facial on me. And when she did it on me, this place wasn't even in the picture. I seen this place and it took a month to actually get in contact because it was so run down. And she was one of the first people I told and showed her pictures, and I think she thought I was crazy to even look at this place. But fast forward, when I started, I knew I needed to hire. I had one lady contact me she saw us on TikTok, and then Amy. So I said to Amy, who is my best friend and our studio manager here, I said to her, would you be interested in coming to work at the shop? And she had already been in helping me paint and being in with all the discussions of how it was going to look. And she jumped at the idea. So I sent her on a course, and she was my first employed member of staff. And then I had another lady join the team as well. So for me, it's scary to employ, because if you've been self-employed or you've worked for yourself before, I always think you're always almost competing with yourself. So you're always trying to do better, and you're always starting up. You're in a bit of a survival mode. You're always looking for that next client to come in, that next lot of money to come in to continue building your business. And now, the security isn't really there. But when you employ people, you are their security. They come to you for money, like their wages at the end of the month. You are that security blanket for them. So although you're still searching for it as the owner, they come to you as a secured employment. So it is a big jump, and you need to think about it carefully, because at the end of the month, they will be looking at you to pay the bills and pay them. So everything needs to be covered. So don't take the decision lightly. And if you're not quite ready to be able to cover, then I'm going to talk about what you could look at. For me, when I took on Amy, I knew that I made enough to pay myself, pay this place, and cover some of Amy's wages if she wasn't also bringing in the clients. Now, all my team members here are fully employed, but I have had 2 self-employed team members here before. So I'm going to talk a bit about the pros and cons from each side. So for me, I wanted employed because I wanted to build a team. I wanted to build a brand. I wanted us to have, although each of our different personalities, one identity as Luxmoor Studio, I wanted us to wear similar. So we had that customer facing, oh, they work at Luxmoor Studio, not, is that a team member? Is that a client? So I just wanted that clear vision. I also wanted us all to do the same treatments and all have the same purpose. So we are wellness. We're in the well-being industry. We want to relieve stress and pain. That is our ethos. I don't want to have a mixed message of having beauty treatments in here. Although I love beauty treatments myself and I get them all the time, I don't want to cross the paths. I want it about well-being, how we can help nurture a person and make them feel better. So I wanted the team to really embody that. And for me, coming from a place where I was self-employed and being around 8 ladies doing all different treatments, I wanted it to be one business, one brand, one team. So that was my main goal here. However, coming into this year, 2022, it was just me and Amy at this point. I'd let go of a member of staff because it wasn't working out, and it was just Amy and I. And obviously we've come into a recession, so I was just thinking it'd be Amy and I for now. And then I thought about bringing 2 people in self-employed. So we had a sports therapist in. He found us on Indeed, which is an employee search site here in the UK. And then we had Julie in, who is Indian head and Reiki, and she is one of our lovely clients already. So I had the conversation with both of them, and they were coming in self-employed. And for me, it was to build the business. I knew in the long term that I wanted it to be one team doing the same treatments, but I also knew that I needed to get more money coming in. I needed to build, and at that point, diversify a little in the treatments that we were doing. So they still accompanied what the treatments we were doing in massage, facials and reflexology, but it was a bit of a different take. So they complemented each other. So one was Indian head and Reiki, the other was sports therapy massage. I was doing that for a little bit. I know it wasn't going to be the long term, but for around 6 months, they would come in either once a week or once a month, and they would pay a percentage. So it also meant that they could build their business because they were both 2 newbies to the industry. So they were still building and we were helping them build. So for us, it was most of their clients would have been our clients, partners of, family of. So it was helping them build, and doing it on a percentage I thought was only fair because that's how I did it when I started. So it meant if they didn't have people in, they didn't have to pay. And if they did have people in, then it was a percentage taken. I was going to do that for a good 6 to 12 months until they became steady enough that I could set an amount. Because for me, I always wanted it to be fair. I got to a stage where I was paying so much in percentages that it made more sense for me to open this place. So I didn't ever want it to be where I was taking too much. It's hard to be self-employed, and I respect anyone that is, so I would want it to be just an equal. As much as we're a business and we want to make money, I don't want to take too much from someone else's plate. So I did that for a while, and it's good. And I enjoyed it, and it was nice having them in. But some things for me that didn't work is, like I said in the beginning, I want a team. And as much as we were a team, with them as well, it was a lovely team, but I want people doing all the same treatments. I want that identity across the board. I want people to know it's Luxmoor Studio. And also for me, it is more control, like control over what people wear, how we turn up for work. I get all the ladies to turn up 30 minutes before they start the day, so we're all set up. You lose that control when you get someone self-employed. That's what I felt anyway. And although they're here working for themselves, it is the brand's name that they're coming into. So for me, that control is important. As much as I want everyone here to have their own say and do, like, they have as much, like, they can come to me with any of their ideas and plans or anything that they want to bring into the business, and we will discuss it. But I want it to be Luxmoor Studio with each client that comes in. Each person's getting like a similar client journey. Everyone's treated the same. The service level is there and the treatments are there. And for me, I needed people to be employed. So for you, if you're starting out, you're gonna either, like, you might have finished college or finished studying, and you're gonna be faced with, should I go employed? Should I go self-employed? And it's for you to decide. I think today there is such a push on being your own boss, and I think it's incredible and it is an amazing thing to do, but it is extremely hard to do. So you need to figure out if that's right for you, and if it isn't right for you and you want to work for someone in a team, then do that. Not everyone can be their own boss, and people need teams to build to create a great business too. So have a little look into it. For me, I know I've always wanted to do this, but I did my time. I was employed, I was a spa therapist, I was a spa manager, then I went self-employed, and now I'm an owner that employs. So have a little look, see what works best for you. Try one. If it doesn't work, try something else. There's no right or wrongs within this industry. You just need to figure out what's right for you. That is all for today. My name's Megan. Make sure you're following us on Instagram. It's Luxmoor Studio. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give us a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you next time.